We back. Sorry for the late start. It's Monday. Mini Monday recap, everybody. Thanks for being here. You know who you are. You saw the chat on the screen. We can't waste any time tonight. And like you just saw, the Gators sliding on over. I'm going to slide the homie on in. How you doing, still? How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, this is Monday. I mean, I think, can they make this game better than the Vikings and Broncos? That's the mission the Chiefs and Eagles have.
Hey, you're up to some stiff competition, which we wouldn't know like before the weekend. Obviously, this has been like the surefire game of the week. But last night, dang, dude, okay. Dang.
Great game.
That was a great game, and obviously we're going to react about it, and we got tons of reactions and tons of love here today, by the way. Thanks to Ladia for being here. Israel, thank you for being here. Brogu, who else is here? I think that's it. Oh, Real Talk is here. We got, reactions. Those are all Israel. He's a 49ers fan. I'm a Bucks fan. Good win, 49ers. We're not going to react to that game. Already plenty of reaction to that game. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of great games yesterday that I didn't expect. We thought when we called these games that they were going to be some surefire wins, and I think I stated, I was like, if you don't win convincingly, then we should be a little worried about your team. The first one that we knew was going to be a game, though, I didn't know it was going to be this low scoring. Steelers versus Browns, dude. I called it, though. I had DTR starting on my fantasy lineup, and he didn't score a lot of touchdowns, but he had a lot of yards, a lot of big plays, and completed a lot of passes. So he did well for me on fantasy, and, dude, led the game-winning drive. So what are your reactions from the Steelers-Browns yesterday, and how'd you feel about DTR?
Hey, I mean, I'm going to pat both of us on the back because mid-pick, we was like, wait a minute, the Browns, they didn't go to P.J. Walker, but they kept winning in spite of him. And now that they think DTR is better, maybe the Browns are in good, they're favored by Vegas. Let's go with the Browns, right? And we both was right, switching our pick. Now their offense, hey, it was limited with PJ Walker. It's limited with DTR as well. It's about that defense. It's about that monster Myles Garrett, in that front. Yeah. That front, defensive front. So, is that a formula like, to get far in the playoffs? No, not a formula at all. Will it get them to the playoffs? So yes, I think the Browns, they're going to get enough wins. They can get to 10 wins. It's a sprint to get to 10 in the AFC. They can get 3 more wins, 7 more weeks in this, season, and at least get a playoff spot. But they're early bounds. I'm just going to tell you the future of all these teams right now. You know what I mean? They're getting bounced pretty early. And the Steelers, man, just their offense is so limited. Kenny pick 6. Didn't throw any pick 6s, but he didn't throw to his own team either. So it's like, I don't know what this dude's doing. Like, he only had like 150 yards or something. I forgot the yards on that. But it's ugly offense on both sides. But the Browns, they're used to kind of carry their offense, I guess, more than the Steelers kind of want to carry their own. And I trust the conservative offense from the Browns more than the erratic offense from the Steelers, right? So that's kind of the difference between these two teams. And Mike Tomlin, I think he still would get like 9 wins this year. But, he always gets a winning season.
A winning season, right?
Yeah, but this don't look like a playoff team at all. The Steelers, they don't look like a playoff team.
Yeah,
they really don't.
And now the question is, Kenny Pickett, is he a franchise QB? And you could say this when he came in. I mean, not a favorable position, but you can't say that you didn't have like a steady system and offense to learn. He didn't come in into like Carolina Panthers situation or Jacksonville Jaguars situation where your head coach was changing and doing stuff. Like, you have Mike Tomlin, dude, as a head coach. So I don't think we can give him those sort of passes that we give those quarterbacks. So how do you feel about Kenny Pickett on the other side of the ball?
No, I think for sure the and this is not more about Pickett. It's about just their QB core overall, the depth overall. They need another quarterback in the mix. Like, Trubisky is not going to be a good backup either, right? So if Pickett's not a good starter, your backup's not even a good backup. So it's like they got to get another, whether it's a late first round pick, second round pick. Because again, they're going to win. They're going to find a way to win like 9 games. The Tomlin always does this,
Right.
But you never get a high draft pick. But no, to answer your question, no, Pickett is not. He's not the answer.
It's not the answer.
He's not the answer at all, unless I like Jalen Wallen, that running back. He's great,
Warren,
but they don't run the ball enough, right? But it's like, because again, it's a quarterback. So until they figure out the quarterback, their offense is just in a dumpster, man. So I mean, they gotta either draft another quarterback or get like a veteran that's floating around out there. Get Joshua Dobbs, because the Vikings are gonna get a new quarterback next year anyway. So get Dobbs over there. Maybe you'll do something.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious to see. What other NFL teams can Joshua Dobbs play for? Can he play for more NFL teams than Ryan Fitzpatrick did? Come on,
I think it's possible.
Break the record. Break the Fitzpatrick record. The next game we want to talk about here is one that I really want to get your opinion on, because I didn't watch all of it. I kind of like tuned out, and I was like, oh, the Bears got this win. But Matthew Stafford came back, find a way to lose games. So how'd you feel about this game, and what did you see when you watched it?
Okay, which game we on?
The Bears versus the Lions.
Bears and Lions. So with the Lions, I picked this game more for the Lions' moxie, right? Not to torture myself about my Bears. It was about the Lions to prove that I'm right, that they're going to get the number 1 seed in the NFC, because they're going to win the games they're supposed to, and they're going to, beat some of the top competition as well. So they showed a lot coming back from 12 down with 4 minutes left. They did, in the fourth quarter. That's what, winning teams do. That's what the Lions are. And, this was a great testament from a division rival. Our Bears was filling ourselves for like 3.5 quarters. And then the Lions did what they supposed to do. So this is, is this like a highlight win or like no. But this is just saying this is a division rival. And the Lions played their worst game. They played worse than even the Ravens game. They looked worse than even that game against the Bears, in my opinion.
Yep.
Goff did not play that bad against the Ravens. They just got mollywopped. The defense couldn't stop anything against the Ravens. But against the Bears, nothing was going right. Absolutely, on both sides of the ball, and they found a way to win. So that showed a lot of character. And the Lions, number 1 NFC seed, and I'm gonna predict the future again here. They get the number 1 seed. The second division round, they're going to play the Cowboys. Okay. And then on the other side of the bracket, it's going to be the Eagles versus the 49ers. And we'll see what happens.
Wow, dude. That is quite the prediction. Obviously, Money Train James isn't here, but he's going to love to hear that and listen to that. I don't think that they're going to get the number 1 seed in the NFC, because I think they're going to get caught sleeping like they were this game. To me, this is a worrisome game. I know Justin Fields is dynamic, but you're going to be going against other dynamic teams, and you were playing at home, man. You should not be letting teams creep up on you like this at home. But sometimes Justin Fields does just get you. I've seen that and been on the other side of that plenty of times, just watching him run all over the Patriots at times. So I know what that feels like. I will say from the Bears though, as a Bears fan, you got to feel like this, like for next year, hopefully most of this team, the offensive weapons stay together. If you guys have a defense, you guys could be something, but he's back. Do you think that they're going to stay with Justin Fields? I mean, he looked good, man. He looked good.
So that's the problem. It's like the problem is coaching is definitely a problem. We see it on the defensive end. See, this coach Eberflus is a defensive coach. So when the defense is giving up, 14 points in 2 minutes, that's a problem.
Don't you hate that? Defensive coach
that's a problem.
Giving up the most points.
Yeah. So we know this coaching staff is done. Yeah. But do you throw out Fields because he's up for a new contract? So this is like terrible timing for him. Do you want to commit to Fields, pay the money, or draft a rookie and kind of restart that clock of having to pay a quarterback, right? And so that's the question. I'm leaning more towards let's reset everything. Let's reboot. Let's let Fields, Hey, he had 160 passing yards, 100 yards rushing, over 100 yards rushing. So that's great all-purpose yards for, he's a quarterback. So he
Yeah.
does everything, right? Um, let him ball out for his last 7 weeks and try to get the highest draft pick as possible for him. Like, I mean, I say trade him. I
That's
say
fair.
trade him at the end of this year. Yeah, hopefully we can get a second rounder for him.
Yeah. Is he
When
what kind of contract is he on right now? He's not a free agent at the end of this year, is he?
he's on his rookie deal, and then I think next year is like the last year of his rookie contract.
Okay. Okay.
So he's due for an extension, basically.
Yeah. That's
Um,
definitely the way to go then. Make him
yeah,
look as good as he can for the rest of the
yeah.
year. Lose these games though, still.
Yeah. Keep looking. And this is perfect. See, this is the thing. It's like
Right.
I'm a realist, right? Like, oh, they look great and they lost.
Yeah.
Great. Like this is great. This is great, bro. And the Panthers they lost too. Yes. Like we're doing great, bro. We are doing this, man. We get 2 of the top 3 picks
That's
in
what
the
I'm saying.
draft, bro.
You're playing 4D draft. That's why I need to know. That's why I want to know where your head is at, because I'm
Yeah.
trying to think like you too. Like I see this game, I'm like, all right, man,
Yeah.
this looks good for next year. Like perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already in next year. When we lost that, what was that game? We had the Broncos down, and man, speaking of the Broncos in a minute,
Yeah.
we when we lost that game, I was like, okay, this season's over. Right? I was like, I'm already into next. This is like game 4. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this season. So now it's about the plan, the bottom 5 plan. That's when I told you about the bottom 5.
Bottom 5.
And
We're doing that.
we're on track. We're on track for it. Hey, this looks good. This looks good right now.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. And so let's move on to the next one. We're not at the Vikings Broncos yet. The next one we want to talk about was the Raiders Dolphins. The Raiders went down to Miami, went to the East Coast, and they gave the Dolphins a run for their money, man. Obviously, Dolphins did have a lot of injuries that happened throughout the game. They went down, some of their star talent, but I say as a Dolphins offense, I've seen them be so dynamic without some of the players that went down. Achan or Akane, how you say his name, Waddle, they've been without.
Yeah.
Tyreek, they've been without before, but obviously he's the most dynamic. He comes back in. I think they still should have been able to score more points. Do you give that more credit to the Raiders defense? Because then, and on the other side, you got Aiden O'Connell, who was playing well, but also had like 3 interceptions on the other side. So, you can't say much.
Aiden O'Connell, he definitely is not their answer at quarterback, right? I think they're they're going to kind of leg this out as much as possible, but they have a running game. Josh Jacobs is all pro level. They obviously have the weapons of receiver, but you don't have the quarterback, so we get that. Defensively, I was more impressed. I left from that game. A lot of people was like, "Oh, this is our chance to dump on the Dolphins again." It's like, no, I'm not punishing the Dolphins, from facing a scrappy team. I mean, they faced,
they are good.
A rejuvenated Las Vegas Raiders team. And so I'm walking away more impressed, almost like when the Dolphins played the Chiefs over there in Germany. I walked away impressed by the Dolphins. I was like, oh, y'all put up a fight, and the same thing with the Raiders here. Y'all put up a good fight against, a playoff team. The Dolphins is a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could upset someone, and make a run for it. I don't think they're Super Bowl worthy because I think you can push the Dolphins around when it comes down to it, right? But the Raiders, with their coaching change, they're still in a race for that last spot. They're only like a game behind, or a game and a half, whatever, behind the last spot in the AFC. So the Raiders, just like we're going to talk about the Broncos in a moment, they're all fighting still to get into this playoff game. So
which is crazy.
I brought this game up only because it's like, the Dolphins, they was in a dogfight, and they actually finally won one of those. I know people are going to overlook this. They're going to overlook this like, the Dolphins, they outscore everybody. No, this wasn't that type of game. Their defense had to close the door in this game, which never happened all year.
Yeah.
Right? Jalen Ramsey, he's still all pro level cornerback, sealed the deal with an interception.
Yep.
They have Xavier Howard on the other side. They're still working on the pass rush a little bit. All I'm saying is the Dolphins are growing up. Don't sleep on the Raiders. The Raiders they came out with their hair on fire in this game and put up a fight, right? So I'm impressed by both teams. And that's why I brought this up because, the Raiders, they still have an outside shot to get to the playoffs. And like I said, the Dolphins, they're just trying to hang with the big boys. And this was a good game to kind of get, toughened up a little bit.
Yeah, and get that playoff pedigree that I
Mhm.
talked about earlier in our chat, because that is one thing that these teams like need to learn. And when I say learn from your losses, I mean this might be one that the Raiders can as well. I think part of the reason why they're so scrappy and they're playing so hard is because one of the guy on defense, I can't remember his name, that
Max Crosby.
Max Crosby, yes. He
Mhm.
is an absolute dog, and they're always gonna fight. But then as you can see here at the bottom of the screen, Devontae Adams, dude, 7 receptions, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Like, he's still there. Like, he's not gonna just lay down for the rest of the season. He's sick of doing that. And with Antonio Pierce coaching that team, I think they have all the chances in the world
Mhm.
as the Broncos do and some of these other teams. But it's like, who wants to go into the playoffs this year, right? Does anybody wanna?
I, yeah, I mean, my pick was off with the Texans. We'll talk about the Texans in a minute, but it's
Yep,
like I still think it's wide open. That last spot in the AFC,
still
you
wide
got the
open.
Colts, Raiders, Broncos, everybody, the Bills still in the mix. Everybody's going for it.
Do you think the Raiders found their future QB? I know we kind of mentioned this, but
Mhm.
this is what
No,
Carlos said.
I think, like I said, I think he could be in the if this is the coaching staff they're going to keep. This is a guy that could be in their system, but I don't think he's starter. I don't think you want him, starting. He
Yeah,
could be a good backup. I don't think this guy. No, I don't see him as like a true starter.
there's a reason.
Um, yeah, get a veteran, get Joshua Dobbs over there, or draft someone. Because I mean, that's why they lost the game because they couldn't generate enough points. It was quarterback.
Absolutely. Joshua Dobbs better ask for a fat paycheck the next place he goes to, man. And the next team who might be fighting their way into the playoffs is the Jets and the Bills. Though they came to play, against the Jets, and Zach Wilson. I mean, is he done as a franchise QB altogether? Is he done
It's
as a
over.
QB? It's over.
It's over, man. That breaking news that it just hit for an hour before the show, right?
Yes, yeah, I got to put that up on
He
here too.
he is now designated as the backup. They're starting Boyle, whoever that guy is.
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle
Wait,
is now the
what's his
he
name?
is the starting quarterback for the Jets versus Dolphins Black Friday game, which is gonna be exciting to see some Friday football, NFL football. That's gonna be kind of
Oh,
cool to see that. If I do a little shopping
first
or
time.
something.
First time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's only on Amazon Prime. So shout out to Amazon.
Shout out.
But Tim Boyle, he came in the end of the third quarter, I believe, this past game. The game was already over, but all this show was Zach Wilson is done. He's
Yeah.
done. I think I feel sad for Jets fans out there. If there's any Jets fans that's representing,
If there is.
they bought into this Aaron Rodgers thing. And yeah, it's a chance he still could come back, but it's not going to matter a month from now. It's not going to matter.
You
This
think they're going to be
team,
out?
they tapped out. This defense did all it could, 10 weeks into the season. For them to even have a somewhat winning record is a miracle. It's a miracle. And Zach Wilson is just, it's not that he's not a starter quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback, okay? Like, this guy, he had his moments, but it's sad that we got like, oh, you could do it, you could do it. It's like, bro, like
Right.
you're like
Right.
he's like a top like 3 pick in the draft. 3 years into his career, he still hasn't figured this out. Yeah, it's not me, it's you, right? That's what this is with Zach Wilson, right? We all wanted the whole magic carpet ride with Aaron Rodgers, but I was hoping too that they could make it through Thanksgiving and have a winning record. The AFC is too stacked, man. The defense can only do so much. I'm worried about the coaching staff. Maybe they don't know what they're doing now at this point
Ooh.
because they should have gotten rid of Zach Wilson. I think. It was like fool's gold. It was a couple weeks ago. They played against the Giants, and they somehow had a miracle win against the Giants. Zach Wilson played terrible the entire game. They just kind of lucked into a win. And it was like, oh, we were just working with Zach. It's like, no, that's when you should have replaced him right there because the Giants
Right.
are terrible. And you should have lost that game. So, yeah, you got to put this on coaching. Not just Zach Wilson. I put this on coaching. and they was drinking the Aaron Rodgers Kool-Aid, just like we all were.
Yeah.
But no, it's on the next season for the Jets, y'all. It's on the next season.
Yeah,
They're
it
not making
sucks.
the playoffs.
It sucks, and even if Aaron Rodgers like comes back, like I mean, we're all like kind of like, what's the point? I mean, it'll be a cool feat at this point, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's like I want to know what the actual percentages of them being in the playoffs.
Right. And as far as with the Jets, I'm sorry, with the Bills, good bounce back. I was ready to bury them because I you know,
me too.
because you never know. This can go either way when you have that inner, you know, Stephon Diggs' brother was dissing the quarterback. It's like all kinds of crazy stuff. I was like, oh, they're going to implode, right? But sometimes that brings people together. That's something that brings teams together. And they look like a team that said, no, like, we're not ready, you know what I'm saying? We're not ready for this to end.
Right.
And so this is going to be a very dangerous team the rest of the year, the Bills. I'm not going to – we know Josh Allen is elite talent. We know this.
Yeah.
They have defensive weapons. They added another cornerback from the Packers. So They have the pieces, right? Rasul Douglas. They have the pieces. It's just let's go out there and do it. Like, you know, it was almost like just like after noise, let's just go ball. And that's what they did, man. So Bills are a dangerous team. I can't wait to see who they play next.
They're dangerous when Josh Allen is playing like this too and playing smart. He did have one interception, which I guess you can't get without going against the New York Jets elite defense like that. But I mean, look at his receiving. Obviously, Khalil Shakir, not a big name that we're used to, but I mean, 3 receptions, 6 receptions, 3 receptions, 4 receptions, 1 reception.
Shakir came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he did. Like there's a lot of him spreading the ball around and making this offense dynamic. And guess what, dude? This is 1 week after they fired Ken Dorsey.
Let me tell that's interesting, right? That's kind of telling, I think, as well too, that, you know, did they check out on the coordinator weeks ago, right? That's one thing. But how many catches did Stephon Diggs get?
Oh, you're right, dude. I think it was 4.
Because I'm gonna say something here.
4,
right? So I think he probably had like 7 or 8 targets. After this year, he's done. He's done with the Bills.
Yeah.
It's about
you shouldn't be seeing this down here and then Shakir up
building
here.
around Josh Allen. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna play, you know. Stephon Diggs, he's a pro. He's gonna show up, he's gonna ball.
Yeah.
They're moving on from him after this season. Let's see what we can do. Last hurrah. You know, I've been shitting on Josh Allen. You know, that's what he's saying. But let's just see what we can do together because I know I'm out of here. This is the last ride, you know, for that tandem. Josh Allen's showing that, hey,
I don't need him.
I'm just like Peyton Manning. I'm like Tom Brady. Just throw Shakur. I got you.
Who?
That's what, Josh Allen's not thinking. You know, he's not thinking about who I'm supposed to throw it in a good way.
Yeah, right.
Just
you shouldn't.
Who's open? You know what I'm saying? And this is what Dak Prescott went through a couple of years ago with Dez Bryant. You know, and I think it's a real thing where you don't have to force the ball to somebody, right? Stephon Diggs is a talent. Put him with a veteran quarterback that needs, you know, that weapon like that. Josh Allen, just give him some confident receivers and they can ball.
That's and it doesn't take a lot, especially in that offense. I had Gabe Davis too. I don't know if he even played, to be honest, because he's usually the second. I don't know what happened to him, bro. I don't know what happened. Bro.
He's out of there too. Get out of there too.
What the hell, dude?
Get everybody clean house.
Brogu, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being here. And then the next game, very interesting. We did say this was going to be a game, but the Texans were probably I picked the Texans to win because they were at home. 16 Cardinals, Texans 21. Just won by 5 points. So the spread was 5.5, dude. The spread was 5.5.
The Cardinals covered it.
The Cardinals covered it, right? You did say that.
That was a good bet. That was a good bet right there.
You did say that, bro. You did say that.
Make yourself some money watching the good countdown on Sundays. I'm just saying. I had a feeling. Kyler Murray, I was like, you know, they're going to let him. He's already let loose. So everyone was like down. Because I was like, that spread, I was like, 5 points on the Cardinals and Kyler Murray? Like, y'all sleeping on Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? So I knew it was gonna be closer than 5.5. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
Come
made
on.
it, but
No,
you
you
know what I'm
said they're
saying?
hating. Everyone's hating on Kyler Murray. Yeah.
And he had the last drive to actually, try to win it. Like he had the
Yep.
ball at the end, so it's a fourth down pass. So I'm like, yeah, no, don't sleep on Kyler Murray. They're trying to win. He's trying to show them that he's still the franchise guy. You don't got to go draft some college guy. So he's going to come to ball every week. He's probably not playing as many video games, during the week. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I'm your guy, right? And I believe, Kyler Murray is a beast. Again, I don't accept no hate on the little guy, right? So the reason of this game is, definitely to shout out the Cardinals, and I need them to keep winning. Though I need you to get some more wins to kind of come down. You know what I'm saying? And then
don't be so bad.
you know what I'm saying? And then the Texans, C.J. Stroud, he was human, right? He had like the miraculous start
And 2
to a
interceptions.
season. Three, I believe, three interceptions
You're
in
right.
this game. It was his worst game that he's had as a pro. But what helped him this game? Yeah, he still was finding Tank Dell. Who is Tank Dell? I still don't know who this little guy is. This guy out of nowhere getting like Tyreek Hill numbers. Like, what in the world?
Dude, he's catching it like
a
crazy guy. Like he's just like, you're literally watching the screen, you see the ball drop, and then you see him drop like a bomb in the screen. You're like, where did you come from, dude?
This dude is insane, right? So just imagine, just after this year's over, you're gonna get some veteran receivers over there. You're gonna get some more linemen. The Texans are gonna be a beast in the near future. But as far as right now, C.J. Stroud, they won this game actually on defense. They held Kyler Murray under 21 points. Under 20 points. Hey, that's, because Kyler Murray gets you, he's worth about 20 points every game. And so you hold that offense down with him, that means your defense did something. So the Texans are showing that, hey, it's not just C.J. Stroud. We got defensive head coach DeMeco Ryans is a former linebacker for the Texans. So he's building up that defense right under our eyes. Everybody's looking at the quarterback. Oh, C.J. Stroud. He's building up the defense of no-name people, right? So the more ammunition for him being the coach of the year, DeMeco Ryans. But they're in a fight for that last playoff spot. They're in a fight. But, oh, my God, I can't wait till next Sunday. They play the Jags for first place for the AFC South. The Texans versus Jags. So the point in this game is, again, giving love to Kyler Murray because he's going to put up a fight the rest of this season. And the Texans, man, can they win it a bit? That's almost too good to be true.
We might have to put them back in the dark horse consideration, dude. I don't know. They must have heard that, and they're like, dude. We can't take that. We can't let Syl down, bro. And I will say this about the Texans too. Even here, and you can see it. I'll go back down. C.J. Stroud being human, dude. I don't know if you saw his numbers. He was still I think 27 for 37 and 336 yards, dude. Like that's still really good for having a bad game.
If that's your bad, you see what I'm saying? Right. Like that's crazy, right? If that's your bad game, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? We're seeing his good games.
Yeah.
So that's just how good he's been playing, that he's still efficient even with 3 interceptions. That's insane.
Dude. And everybody at the Panthers organization just kicks themselves one more time. Every time they see his stat line. That's tough, dude. That's tough, bro. Well, one of the marquee matchups I wanted to get to real quick, and then we'll go over the Seahawks game. Vikings Broncos, man, that end up being a game. I did this reverse. I think it's the other way around. Broncos had 20.
Yeah, Broncos
Vikings
won.
had 17. But my bad on that one. But yeah, it ended up being a game. Joshua Dobbs got hit in the head. I don't know if you saw that on that fumble. That guy who caused the fumble in that game actually got fined, and it might be suspended too, I think, because he's had multiple instances of that happening.
Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah, he's been targeting people.
Yeah, and when you see that replay, he's just doing the old dolphin dive, dude, just like straight helmet.
Yeah, he targets his head. Yeah.
So, what did your thoughts? It's actually 20-21, and I'll redo this bottom thing.
Okay,
20-21. Yep, and the Broncos ended up holding off and getting the win at home, dude.
Hey, Broncos half a game behind for the playoffs. Like that's what's going on here. Like
Like
the
what?
Broncos like dug themselves. They started off like 0-3, 1-4, something like that. Now they're 5-5. Russell Wilson is playing like Seattle Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Like if you saw that game, you saw all during Seattle years, all you had to do is keep the game close. Russ, you get the ball, you're within one score. And he always came through. And that's literally what he just did. He threw a dime under pressure to Cortland Sutton, corner of the end zone. Just insane throw. That was vintage Russell Wilson. They have a decent running game, not the best with Javonte Williams and Samaje Perine. It's trying to work with the running game a little bit, but they have a passing attack. Jerry Jeudy is not a Steve Smith's favorite receiver, but he's okay. He's just a guy to veteran Steve Smith, but Hall of Famer. Steve Smith.
Jag. He's a jag.
He's just a jag, but he is a true number two. I will say that Jerry Jeudy.
That's fair. That's fair.
Cortland Sutton is that guy though. He's 6'4". Obviously has a great vertical, and he had the crazy catch in the end zone. Hey, we gotta put respect on Sean Payton's name, right? We do gotta respect that he turned this team around. He had to give him like 6 or 7 weeks, but he figured it out. You know what I mean? He figured out what he had. He didn't sell. We all thought there would be a seller like the Commanders were.
Yep.
They stood pat. They kept their Patrick Surtain the second. That's an all-pro corner. They kept all their weapons, right? And so now they're like, hey, we don't care about a draft pick. Let's see how far we can get. And then, yes, we're still going to draft like a second-round quarterback. We're still going to build.
Prepare.
But Russell still got some juice left, I think, for like 2 or 3 more years, the way he's looking.
And it's a good thing because he's on a contract for like 3 more years.
Yeah, they have to pay him. Right. So let's use this up, right? Let's use this. And then we could build, the next quarterback, you build him up over a couple of years, right? And so that's one side of the Broncos. Hey, they're there for a fight. They already beat the Chiefs. Let's see what they do with the rest of the division. I think they beat the Raiders one time early. Hey, the Broncos have a shot, right? That's gonna be exciting to see. With the Vikings, yeah, it's about Joshua Dobbs, but he just ran into Russell Wilson. That's literally all that happened right here. Joshua Dobbs was making plays as well. The Vikings, they held back Jefferson, the receiver. They held him back for one game. So let's see the full arsenal next week with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Dyson. Let's have Eric Osborne. I'm sorry, Osborne. Who's the tight end? They got him out there as well too. Let's see the full. Yeah, let's see the full arsenal next week. I'm not worried at all about the Vikings. They're going to get the wild card spot in the NFC and probably make a nice run. They could upset someone in the wild card. So I still believe in the Vikings. This is more about the Broncos showing the fight and that they're still in the running for playoffs.
Absolutely. And it's crazy that we're saying that because a couple of weeks ago I was ready to write them off. I think I did.
I was done.
I think we were done on the Broncos, but in encouraging in the loss, because I did know, unfortunately, that Joshua Dobbs wasn't going to go undefeated, but it is encouraging in this loss. You had a run game against a very hard to play against Broncos defense.
Really good running game.
You know what I'm saying? So that's very complimentary to keeping Joshua Dobbs from making those mistakes. And he did get his bell rung early, but still, continued on, went 20 for 32, 220 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. If we do that interception, Broncos probably go without another score, and then the Vikings win the game. So that's all it takes in the NFL. But yeah, Russell Wilson, I think Necron said it in our chat. Is he back, dude? He might be back. And it'd be a good thing. It'd be ideal for the Broncos if they have Russell Wilson back, not only because they need a premier quarterback, but that'll help a new quarterback coming into, like we talked about in this transition period, where you actually have the time to build this quarterback up and then put him in. Like Patrick Mahomes, yeah, he was a first round pick. I think he was, but so was able to learn under Alex Smith, a veteran quarterback for a year. So like it goes a very long way. So you get hopefully a mid-round pick, have him learn under somebody. I mean, Josh Purdy, you want to, talk about how great he is, which he was, but he also got to learn under Jimmy Garoppolo for a while. So that goes to say, I know Jimmy Garoppolo isn't the greatest, but you still get the veteran quarterback
Well,
pedigree.
having
Right.
time is a real thing. And like you said, with Mahomes, he was a top 10 pick, but he wasn't rushed out there. And that's the point right there. Aaron Rodgers had a couple years, under Brett Favre. So it's like if you can get to a situation, and the Broncos will have, like you're saying with the Broncos, they're gonna be able to get a quarterback in there, let Russell Wilson finish out his contract, and he can retire.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can have someone just, and so Sean Payton, I guess he was 2 or 3 steps ahead of all of us. We thought he was going to reboot this in one off season. He's like, oh no, we paying him this much. Okay. He's going to be the quarterback. You know what I mean?
He's going to learn.
We're going to figure it out. Yeah. And then we'll rebuild as we go. And hey, I can't, what can you say to Sean Payton now? It's working.
Yeah, his future, I would say probably future Hall of Fame head coach if you're able to turn the Broncos around and keep it a competitive team going forward too, because I guess it's all it took was a head coach to really get this team in gear.
It's about legacies, right?
Yeah.
Too. It's like with Sean Payton, because everyone's like, oh, well, you had Drew Brees, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's probably like, hey, bro, like even say I won a Super Bowl, I was in contention every year, get 10, 11 wins. Oh, but you had a Hall of Fame quarterback. Okay, let's turn this around, right? So it's about legacy. Yeah, that's no doubt.
And the last game we got to talk about, I was looking at it because I was like, come on, Seahawks, get the win here. Come on, Seahawks. I want them to beat the 49ers in their division, but which will be some interesting games coming up with the Seahawks and 49ers next week and, a couple weeks after that. But the big story here, I think, for both of us was, as we said during the good countdown was, Dad's home. Dad came home. He didn't play amazing, but had the game-winning drive, got them down, made the plays that the veteran quarterback plays that we come to expect from Matthew Stafford. He made those plays, and they got a win against another playoff. Well, I shouldn't say another playoff team. I'll just say a playoff team.
A playoff team, yeah.
I don't know if the Rams are
the Rams
playoff team. Yeah, but Matthew Stafford is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So, still playing like it. And what do you take from this game when you saw it, though?
And you still got Super Bowl winning head coach Sean McVay. You still got that pedigree there. Yeah, this isn't their best roster. They got hit with a lot of injuries. Cooper Kupp even went out, with a foot injury or something like that. So it's the turn, it's the changing of guard there. Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams may be back next week. So it's like these young guns, and then we know, I mean, like I said, the Rams, they're not a playoff team, so they're going to draft their next guy this offseason. How much time does Stafford? How long can Stafford play? They're gonna, as long as he can play, they're gonna let him play.
Yeah,
he won you a ring, so you're gonna let Stafford play as long as he can. But you can start getting your next, like we said, get your guy and let him be backup for a little while, and then as long as McVay is there, he can get a new quarterback, to extend his career there. So. I looked at this more. This was a division game. That's why I picked the Rams to win this game. I said, hey, Daddy's home. Stafford's back. They're at home as well, too. And the Seahawks, they're just all right. They're just an okay team.
They're all right.
They're a playoff team. They're probably not that much better than the Vikings with, a quarterback off the street. You know what I mean? And then Kenneth Walker, the third, got hurt, the running back for the Seahawks. So we'll see how serious that is. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see how that affects their offense. Geno Smith, yeah, he peaked out last year. That's the best he probably could have played. They're just okay. They're just an okay team, and they lost to a division rival. So I don't take much. Like the Rams ain't gonna make the playoffs, and the Seahawks, they're not gonna go to the dumpsters now. No, they're gonna still win winnable games and then lose in the first round of playoffs. That's what the Seahawks are going to do.
I couldn't agree more with you, man, there, man. And I'm, I guess, more disappointed in what I saw or didn't see from the Seahawks, because to me, they had every chance in the world to win this game in the fourth quarter, but they kept putting the ball away and not having good drives and just not capitalizing on situations. They could have, in fact, had a chance, I believe, at the end there, but they just missed the kick. If I'm not mistaken. So they could have won this game, but you can't be relying on those field goals at the end of the games either. Geno Smith's got to be able to get you more yardage, and that can't be what we're relying on, especially when you miss a field goal in LA. That's one thing, but dude, you play in Seattle, like you're gonna play in these weathered conditions where you can't be missing field goals. So I know kicking's not easy, but again, from Geno Smith, you got to have a better game at the end there to be what we think is a Super Bowl contender. You're a playoff contender, but how far are you going to get in the playoffs? We don't think far, but I will say, there is a chance with the Seahawks team just because of the other people that they have around Geno Smith. Give it the ball, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf is obviously a generational player. So yeah, man. He says, Israel says Thanksgiving night football in Seattle. That's where they're going to be playing 49ers Seattle on Thanksgiving night. Oh man, we're getting
I swear, I'm gonna be good and full and watching that game, bro. I can't wait.
I'll be up and ready for that. So that was the last game we wanted to talk about for all of these. And obviously tomorrow's the power rankings, but this is like one of the first nights we have to wait after Monday Night Football to do our power rankings, bro. We gotta wait.
Hey, I'm just saying, it could be some change at the top. And I don't know if you want to revisit what we said with our picks, but I feel like I shouldn't pick against the Chiefs. But man, I think the Eagles are the better team. But the Chiefs can make an ultimate statement tonight, man. Like, I'm really excited for this game.
They absolutely can. I think the Eagles are a better team too, but the Chiefs have a chance to show what their defense is too, because I think we may have said that the last time they played was that, oh damn, they actually have a defense too. So here we go, man. They're playing right now. It's quarter one. Did you pick the Eagles? I
picked the Eagles.
I picked the Eagles too because I'm never going to pick the Chiefs, to be honest. But I think the Eagles have a better defense and they can clamp down on the offense better than the Chiefs' defense can clamp down on the Eagles' offense, because when they can't pass the ball on the Eagles, they have such a dynamic running attack, especially behind that offensive line, that I think they can find holes. And with AJ Brown. And I forget who the other wide receiver is now, the smaller guy.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah. They got players over there. So I'm expecting this to be a dogfight. I wouldn't be surprised. You want to give, and we didn't give scoring predictions on the Sunday countdown, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like 21-17 out of this to be like the highest scoring game from an attack like this. But what do you think we're gonna get tonight?
I say 24-20 Eagles. I think they're going to keep the Eagles defense going to keep Mahomes just at arm's length, I think. And you can't count the Chiefs out. It's like I feel like it feels like foreign. Yeah. It feels foreign to count the Chiefs out, but I'm just like, no, just going off of the data we've seen for the past year since the Super Bowl. The Eagles were a better team even in the Super Bowl. And I just feel like they had to have learned their lesson from there. They haven't had that hangover, right? Usually you have that Super Bowl hangover. Yep. Eagles haven't. They're the best record in the NFC for now. And I think AJ Brown, I think he's going to get loose. I actually think, in prime time, he's going to get loose against this Chiefs defense. And, I'm probably giving the Chiefs too many points, to be quite honest. Wow. I actually think the Chiefs can score. Yeah.
Wow. And especially like I think we've seen too, like they kind of, unless the Chiefs switch it up, there's a blueprint out there to get Kelsey on the clamps. So you shut down Kelsey, you kind of shut down the rest of that Chiefs offense. And the Eagles defense definitely capable of doing that, dude. They have more than enough guys. And I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if the Chiefs are able to score over 20. But I definitely got the Eagles scoring over 20. Dynamic enough offense, and they lost the Super Bowl, bro, and it was so close. And I feel like the Eagles should have won. So as soon as they saw the schedule, this one was circled, dude, for sure. They've been waiting on this game. So yeah, let's go watch this game. Let's enjoy our Monday night, and everybody come back here tomorrow because we're gonna have our power rankings, and we're gonna be doing hopefully enough to piss everybody off. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Whoever loses this game is gonna be mad. Whoever's a fan of the team that loses, they're gonna be mad.
Real mad. But come through to the power rankings tomorrow. You got anything to promo before we get out of here, bro?
Hey man, like I said, this has been great coverage for the football. Uh, Tuesday power ranking show, and then we got the Thanksgiving football coming up, man. This is a great week for football, man.
Oh my God, man. And we got
Black Friday
Black
football.
Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Black
Black
Friday
Friday. Let's
football.
go, dude. Make sure you're nowhere but here on my channel and Still Nation Sports Network because we've been covering all of it. All of it, bro. So we'll see y'all back here tomorrow for the power rankings. Enjoy the game. Let's have a good freaking night. Till next time. Peace.